Hello and welcome to yourlocalnote.com. This week's featured podcast, we got a new band out. It's called AlyCat. We're going to be talking with the members of the band in just a few minutes. But first, we want to remind you that you can always download our apps so you can check out our music 24/7 on our website. The apps are in the respective stores for Android and for iPhone. YLN is what you type in and download it. It's absolutely free. And you can check out all the best bands in the Philadelphia area 24/7 on yourlocalnote.com. Okay, we are featuring AlyCat this week, and we're going to start off with the song Not Yours from their album, which is called Cat Lady on yourlocalnote.com.
You gave me tough love. It's never enough. The tears, they eventually subsided, but the nausea, it never did. No, I gave you all I had because you traded me. I let you push me around. You said you were saving me, and now I'm running around in circles, trying to chase all your fantasies. But your vision isn't mine, so now I'm making up for lost time. Can't go living someone else's dream. Gotta get up every morning with my own stream of consciousness. I've been half asleep and I'm stuck inside of your head trip. Gotta be living my own dream, not yours. Manipulation, it's got a shelf life. They'll promise you everything you ever wanted, everything you ever needed, and then they'll cut you down with their trench knife. And you're crawling on the sky pad while they're taking the long sponge bath, and you're stuck in the cold all night. For what? And although I know it's insane, but you're stronger cause you took the pain, and you can get yours if you just step up your game. Cause their vision isn't yours, so now it's time to take your detour. Can't go living someone else's dream. Gotta get up every morning with my own stream of consciousness. I've been half asleep and I'm stuck inside of your head strip. Gotta be living my own dream.
song is called Not Yours. The band is AlyCat, and the name of the album is called Cat Lady. And we've got them in studio, at least 3/4 of the band. So let's have a big welcome for these guys. Thank you so much for being here, guys. So introduce yourselves and what you do for the band. We'll start with Allison.
Hey, everybody. I'm Allison, or Ally, and I play bass and sing in the band, and occasionally a keyboard or a moog.
A moog. Nice. Okay.
I'm Terrence, and I play drums and I sing.
I'm Brendan. I play a more occasional moog than Ally and an occasional bass.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Let's start with how the band got together and how you came up with the name AlyCat, although it may be pretty self-explanatory, right, Ally?
Yeah.
You're a cat lady? You like cats?
Most people, well, yes, that is true.
Okay.
I do love cats, and I'm a cat lady in training. But I mostly, my nickname is AlyCat, and when we were putting together this band, we were looking for a name, and actually my guitarist, who can't be here today, was like, well, why don't we just call it AlyCat?
Let's give him a shout out too, since he's not here.
Yes, our guitarist is John Globitz.
And so John said you should just go with AlyCat.
Yep, he did.
Okay.
And so that's what we did, and that's the name of the band. So
how did you get together? How did you meet all these guys?
Well, let's see. Basically from doing, music in Philadelphia in the local music scene.
Okay.
I've been working with my guitars for years, and Terrence and Brendan and I have been working together. The four of us have been together for just over a year now. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is our best lineup by far, and is really propelling us ahead.
Okay.
With this lineup. So, basically just from, being out and about and playing music in the Philadelphia area, we met. Brendan and I met through a mutual friend, but also from playing music, around.
Yeah, I knew about you. I knew your deal.
Okay. So, Ally, you approached Brendan. You were with another band.
I was. Yeah.
Okay, that band breaks up, and then does Ally approach you, or do you approach her? How does that work out?
There was a fair amount of time in between, and I had gotten more into the studio side of, I guess, my life at that point, since I wasn't playing as much. And then I was itching to play more, and then Ally approached me about this project, and I said, yeah, I think I need to play live again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And it feels good?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a different role for me because I'm playing a lot more keyboards than bass, but it's fun.
Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, not at all. They'll be the first to tell you. No, not a bit.
Blatantly honest.
So you're learning on the fly here? Is that what we're hearing?
Fake it till you make it, something like that.
He fakes it very well. He sounds like he knows what he's doing.
It sounds well. From what I can hear, it sounds great. You're doing a great job. All right, Terrence. Now we've talked to you before. This is another project.
Yes.
And now with. And your guitarist also has other projects on the side. How difficult is that to keep the band together when you've got half your band also doing other projects? Does that take a lot of work to make sure you're fitting into each other's schedule? I'll go with you, Terrence, because you're.
It just depends on how you prioritize things. It can be done, especially if music is what you do. Period. And
right.
That's what I do. And that's what John does, so
okay.
It's easy to manage that that lifestyle. It's not, it's a lifestyle.
I understand it's a lifestyle, but you still have, the priorities. Ally, you've got your band, and then you got to work around Terrence and John's schedule.
I just thought about maybe just busting some kneecaps, or
that I'd like to see that happen.
At some point, it just has to. No, I'm just joking. I've been in a situation where I've had, I was on tour with the National Act for 3 years, and I had to put my project on the back burner, and that was so hard. But now this has become the forefront.
Okay.
And I'm really psyched about that. So, and I believe that everybody in the band is making it a big big priority and taking big steps to do what they got to do.
So your background makes it easier for you to work and understand what everyone is doing then.
Right.
Okay, very cool. All right, let's talk about influences. Ally, we'll start with you. Some of your influences that led you to where you are now.
Oh, man. I've always been a huge fan of soul music. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because, I feel like so many people, their number one is Beatles. Number one.
Right.
If you take a poll of musicians,
yes,
their number one is the Beatles.
We're finding that as we're interviewing all these different bands over the last 2+ years.
You hear Beatles, right?
Constantly.
That's what I hear all the time.
Constantly. Oh, who are your influences? Oh, Beatles, and then they would name off some other people.
Right.
But Beatles is something, and I sort of understand because that's what they heard when they were kids because it's their parents that were listening. So you understand that to a certain extent. But even after they got older, they still respect what the Beatles did and their music and stuff. So,
right.
Which is kind of cool. But,
yeah, and my father's actually from London.
Oh, okay.
And he really tried to get me to listen to the Beatles, and I love the Beatles. I love Yellow Submarine. I mean, it's like very kid friendly and everything, but I really just wanted to listen to Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder. When I listened to that music, that was it for me. I mean, that was what I needed to have in my life. And then I went on to high school and started getting into a lot of jam band music.
Okay.
Grateful Dead, Fish, went to a lot of concerts, a lot of, and then most recently I've been getting into more fusion, electronic dance, jam, electro, funk stuff. So it's kind of all over the map a lot. But for me, it's like the funk, funky beats.
Got it.
Has to be in there.
Brendan?
Oh, man. Like Ally, I like to listen to a lot of different stuff. I guess sometimes I'll describe my musical listening evolution. I got into playing music through Jimi Hendrix, I think.
Okay.
That was big. But then I wanted to have more intricate riffs and more musicianship, and then I got really into Frank Zappa, and that was huge. And then I loved his jazzier side, and then I got into like Miles Davis and that whole world, and then started listening to classical music, and it's been kind of full circle. But funk and soul is also something that to me is like comfort food. Mm-hmm. So it's always something that I can go to. I mean, I say that I could listen to Stevie Wonder any time, any day of the week. Doesn't matter.
Sure. So. Okay. Terrence, remind us. Give us a little recap.
Of course, Stevie Wonder. You've heard it 3 times. That's good. We'll keep it there. I like Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway. Chuck Brown was a big influence growing up in D.C. because he was a local artist who passed a few years back in Washington, D.C., who was the godfather of go-go music.
Okay.
So, growing up in D.C. and being a kid and, being a percussionist and drummer, church music as well, because I grew up in the church. So, playing in gospel groups for different choirs through the city was another situation that helped pave my path of music as well.
Very cool. All right, let's talk about the song Not Yours. We sort of got away from it, but that's the first song we played. Not Yours. Who wrote that and what is it about?
That is written by myself and John Glaubitz. What it's about. I guess cursing is not allowed on the air.
Go
Really?
for it. This is the internet.
Well, it's kind of a big fuck you, to be honest. It's just basically when people don't let you be yourself, really, and they're not supporting who you are, and then finally you just stand up and be like, I am not yours.
Yeah.
I am, I'm me, and and I got to be me, and I got to do what I got to do. So this thing right here is not yours.
Now, does that have anything to do? You mentioned that you were 3 years on the road and you had to put your project aside. Does that have anything to do with this?
Smart. A little bit.
All right. So is that why it's the first track on the debut album?
That's not why. No. We just we were fooling around with different orders of the songs, and that one just seemed like it was a good place to start.
All right. Well, you just released this album. It's called Cat Lady, and we're just going to go right down the line, the first 4 songs on this. So the second song is called Higher, and you have an awesome music video for Higher on your site. And we'll play it now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about that song as well as the video. So we have here AlyCat in studio. The song is called Higher off their debut album Cat Lady on yourlocalnote.com.
Now it's starting to gust. I hear your voice and it's making me blush. We climbed aboard, never planning a crush. Out here it's a different world. Starting to swirl. Water starting to rise on this roaring sea. It's got me feeling all whooshy inside of me. We're floating away now, higher and higher, higher. I'm getting carried too far away. So far away now from my home, but it feels so good to just get lost in the roam. I was always afraid to chance this. Now all I ever wanna do is dance with you. We're floating away now, higher and higher, higher, higher. I'm getting carried too far away. Undercurrent stirring, magic's getting blurry. We're riding this wave so high, I could drown, but I never ever wanna come down. I'm not even like you. You created a psycho. I'm getting so close and this is going way too far.
that is Higher. They are AlyCat, and you're listening to yourlocalnote.com. The music video, first, just say your website on there, because that's where you're going to see the music video.
Yeah, the website is www.AlyCatOnline.com, and AlyCat is spelled ALYCAT.
Okay, and right on the front page is this video. This is your first video. Why did you pick Higher for your first video project?
Well, we thought it was kind of a good song to match the concept of the video.
And who came up with the concept for the video? It's very unique. There are puppets involved. That's actually the main character, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the story?
I'll preface it. The concept was born. We did a tour in Vermont last fall, and I remember pretty clearly we were hanging out on that main drag in Burlington, Vermont.
Okay.
And just killing some time until the gig, and Terrence just starts spewing off all this stuff. And this is one of the most hilarious dudes I've ever met. And you guys know, because you've met him before.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about this business concept. And that's where the video comes from. But I'll let Terrence tell you about the concept.
If he could stop laughing for a second.
I don't know if the entire concept is appropriate for everyone's ears, but I'll give you a little bit of the idea of what's going on in there. When we were on tour, I came up with an idea to start a business that allowed young college men to get their clothes cleaned by young, beautiful women.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like a pretty fair concept.
Yeah, and there'll be wings and guy stuff. It's a place for guys to come get their clothes cleaned. By clean women.
Right.
So I'll leave it there.
I got it.
I
And
think
I'll let
what
you.
was really happening was that they were running out of clean clothes, and and they just were kind of fantasizing about this place, if we could just pull up on the side of the road, and it would be a party and girls and clean clothes and towels, and it would be great.
It's an amazing place, it sounds like.
The concept just, at first I was like, will you guys shut up about this? I'm so sick of hearing it. And then they wouldn't, of course. And it just snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. And it literally became a concrete thing. And so it just seemed like it made the most sense to create that bizarre scene.
Well, it looked like you had an amazing time in the video. So, any regrets? Once you got over the concept idea, did you have fun making the video?
I had a blast.
Oh, good.
I'm in full support of the fluff and fold. Yeah.
You said it.
I crossed over.
Said it.
Excellent.
I'm down.
So,
for the record.
So we just heard the song Higher. So what about that song? What is that song about that was able to be the song for this video, this concept?
That song is basically about being on a jam cruise.
Okay.
So it was about this cruise that I took about a year and a half ago that was just all music all the time on the boat, and it was just an amazing time. And things got a little out of control on the boat, and it was all in good fun though, and so decided to write about that. And we just thought that that party atmosphere to the song would work with the concept.
Good, and it definitely does, and that I plead people to go and see that video on your website.
Thank you. Yeah, go check it out. It's fun. And Brendan over here, our keyboardist slash bassist and also producer of the album, also produced the video as well with co-directed it.
Wow,
So,
great work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you said earlier that you approached these guys and now this is the best version of this band, what did you start doing first? Did you start playing shows first and then sit down and make these songs on this new album, or did you start with the songs first?
I don't remember. What did we do?
This was only a year ago, wasn't it?
I know. We were playing.
Playing.
Yeah, I remember, Yeah, like I think I was the last one of the four to come into the fold, but we started playing gigs.
No pun intended with fold.
And we were like kind of doing this jammy thing, and then it was going pretty well. Like a lot of the songs have evolved within the live show, and sometimes Ally and I will run together, like just go up into the track and do some laps or whatever. And we were talking, and we were like, we should record this the way that we've got it now, because there's this live dynamic going that is pretty special, we think. So I work at this recording studio up at Forge in Orland, and I said, why don't we just take a day and go in and just record all live as we do it, just capture what we've got going on when we play gigs. So that was how Cat Lady was born.
That's what's on the album, is just going in there and just playing live for
we set up
hours.
in the studio, all four of us. The sight lines were good, and we just recorded for a whole day in the studio, and that's what we got.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
There's a lot more to the story, but
We got time.
keep it short.
We got time. What's your version?
Well, basically, that was when Brendan came into the project. Cat Lady, or the album, was actually started many, many months before that. And we had gone through 2 different studios with a different producer, a few different producers. Bobby Eli, who's and Gene Leone, who are very big heavyweights in the music producing scene. But it was kind of moving slow, and it was going into a direction which was not this lineup in this band. And we were really getting this sound that we just really needed to capture on tape. And so I kind of sort of had to make a decision, and we were being funded by these other groups and situations, and so I just had to make a decision that we were gonna, ditch the funding and go and do this. And we basically did 7 tracks in 5 hours.
Wow.
And some overdubs, but I mean that was the main thing, because we had been working really hard doing live shows and everything. And the other, I don't want to knock the other studios because they're amazing. Amazing stuff comes out of there. It just was going a little slow, and it wasn't the right direction. So I just made a decision that this is what we're going to do, and we're going to branch out, and we did it, and we're proud of it.
Good. Now, what could you just explain what that direction was in your mind when you first started writing these songs, and what eventually became this album?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like this gel that we all had, and when we got together in the rehearsal room, just ideas started flying, and these songs really took their own life and their own shape, and the jams live, the jams are on the disc, because I don't think there's really a song under 4 minutes on this disc. No. So the jams are there, but live, we really are expanding out, and so that's something that was really, defined there, that we needed, like I needed to be, to be involved in the recording.
So with a jamming, aren't you taking a chance though by when you're recording for it to be really long, because of the fact that you're sort of improvising as you go, and if you don't like it the first time, then you may try something else, and before you know it, the time could just be flying by. And we know how sometimes it's important to keep your time schedule where it's supposed to be because of money. It costs money to be recording.
No, we knocked them out one by one. It was amazing.
So how long were you playing together before you went into the studios?
It was probably like 6 months.
6 months.
That's
is
it?
What I was going to say.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, I joined the band just about a year ago, and then we were playing all through the summer, and then we recorded. It was like about around Halloween when we did the bulk of the stuff on Cat Lady.
Yeah, October 27th.
Yeah.
When we went in there.
And you just went with it. You've done this before, Terrence, where you guys with your other project, you just go with it. So you're comfortable with that style.
This was a little different. Usually we do tracking separately, but with this group, we did it all at the same time. So this process was a lot quicker, I should say, in that sense. But what we got, I was very excited and happy about.
Okay.
It's been the first time I've actually, liked a recording of myself that I heard.
Okay.
Because it's been one of those things where it's like, usually I'll play a drum beat and I'll get it back and it's chopped and screwed. And I'm like, I didn't play that. I know I didn't play that.
Right.
So when I hear it, I'm confused as to why aren't I hearing what I'm playing?
Right.
And, now I'm hearing what I'm playing and I like how I play.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. All right. We're going to move on to Hey Jay, and then we'll talk about that after we listen to it. All right. So you're hanging with us on yourlocalnote.com. We are talking with AlyCat. Their next song here off their album, Cat Lady, is called Hey Jay on yourlocalnote.com.
Hey Jay, you'll be okay. Trouble you find will work out in time. If only you would take the time to tell us what is on your mind. I need to make sense of it all, so give me some kind of sign. You always wanna turn it off and on. Today it's here, tomorrow it's gone. But love ain't a light switch and you can't just switch it off and on. Your soul's not under your control, you gotta let it go. Let it go. Hey Jay, you got the crowd in the palm of your hand. You got me wrapped around your finger. Off the stage now, the crowd is all gone. Love is waiting for you to turn it back on. Hey Jay. Above and beyond, charismatic, perfection of craft. You're always such a fanatic. There's not a simple formula to love, it's not by your design. No. So open up your heart and it might start to open up your mind. Open up your mind. Hey Jay, got it down in a common demand. Saving any love to give her. That's what is on your mind.
The song is called Hey Jay. The band is AlyCat off their new album called Cat Lady. All right, Allison, did you write this song too?
Yes. This
All right, do you do most of the songwriting for this band?
Yes, I guess I do. And John Glaubitz, our guitarist,
Also
and I,
helps with you?
Yes.
Is it a process where you come up with the idea, you bring it to the rest of the band, and then you start formulating it or forming it together, and you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how it happens. John and I sometimes will write the lyrics and music together, and then we'll bring it to the band, and then it kind of takes shape. But the song Cat Lady, the instrumental song on there, we all wrote that together.
Okay, but Hey Jay, you wrote it.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Basically, Hey Jay is about a musician in my life who was really the inspiration for me doing music full time. Okay. And and he is still a person that is extremely passionate about music and life, and sometimes couldn't see anything past that.
Okay.
So it's sort of about that. It's like the one line is like, get off the stage now, life is going on.
Okay.
There's
more to life than just the stage.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
I'm just from our short conversation here, it seems like all your music is really based on life experiences for you. I mean, so that's where you pull your inspiration from. Where some people just like to tell a story. They'll see something and say, okay, and then they create a story. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm always interested in the different styles.
Yeah.
And for you, it's got to be something you've experienced.
Yes, it does. It does. Maybe one day I'll take a story that I see or something like that. I mean, touring with David Bromberg for 3 years, I mean, he's like a
lot of stories there?
So many amazing stories there, yeah. But apparently I didn't learn anything from that.
Right. Very, very good. Let's talk about your live show when you guys are on stage. As someone who has not seen you, tell them what they're going to expect. I mean, they can see the video, and I think you can tell by the video there's going to be a lot of fun going on. But tell everyone what's happening with the stage show.
Anybody else want? What's happening, Terrence? What's happening on stage?
Fun stuffs. Fun stuffs is happenings. I would like to say that the live performances, I guess I would say, is my favorite part, because it sounds to me we sound better and better every time, and the chemistry that we've developed in such a short period of time, I've never experienced with other musicians yet. So when you come to the live show, it's a sense of of camaraderie. Like, these guys have been playing together forever, for years, It's a lot of fun. But that's not the case.
Yeah, right. It hasn't been that long.
That's not the case. So I can't imagine what, years ahead of now holds for this particular group, because we sound great right now. And, I don't like to toot my own horn usually, but toot,
Beep, beep.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, just, come out and you're just going to come out and to party and dance your cares away and just have a blast and party with us. So we're just there to have a good time and have, everyone have a good time with us, basically.
Now, when you expand in these songs, they're long on the record, but they're even longer, I imagine, in your live show. Are there just sections of solos? Do you throw that in there, or is it just all you guys just jamming on a few riffs?
Yeah. Can you take that one, B?
Sure. I would say that, yeah, generally the solos might be a little longer live. And even now, we've gotten to the point where Terrence will start a section with a slightly different groove, and we'll all react slightly differently to that, and that can kind of evolve into something on the spot. It's improvisatory in that way, while still being within the structure of the tune. So, yeah, I mean, we take things in different directions, sometimes unexpectedly, and sometimes to Ally's anxiety.
What's going on?
We call it new beats. I introduce new beats without rehearsing them, and when I introduce new beats, she gets really upset. But the new beats are always cool. Yeah. and it always
Sister.
works. Yeah, they're always cool. Brendan seconded.
I do. I was like, he pulled out a new beat once, and I was like, I like that beat so much, I want to take it out to dinner.
and then the beat offered to take him out to brunch instead.
I think the beat was fatter than me. It had deeper pockets.
But they didn't get to know each other first. You know what I mean? I just needed to get to know.
So what's going through your mind at that instance where the new beat starts?
Oh God, here it goes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit, here comes Terrence.
Pretty much. I'm like, oh God, anything's possible right now. But, you know, I mean, we trade off and everybody kind of like leads. And it's just, you know, people, you know, Terrence will take the reins sometimes. Brendan will take the reins, John, myself. So, you know, it just kind of, and we're all like really super in tune with what's going on. And, you know, we're trading solos. And so it's all very within a structure. The jamming is within a structure. It's not just like, except for when the new beats come in.
Right. But you
But
can
we
start,
pretty much
you can
know what we're
start some
doing.
new beats yourself too. You can try and throw them off on the bass.
I know. You're
I wanna
right.
give a
And I
shout
will.
out. I want to give a shout out to John's solo. Since we're talking about solos,
Yeah.
Do you remember his solo at the Blackley?
Yeah.
We're gonna give a shout out to that solo. So just check that out. That's
Even a
gonna be
moment
out.
of silence for that solo.
That was the longest solo ever. The longest one. But it was good. It was good.
All right, where are you guys performing next? Where can we expect to see you?
We have a lot of stuff out of town. Our next one in Philadelphia is May 29th at the Underground Arts.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
And then we're, I believe, at the Brownies. I don't know if it's called Brownies
23
anymore.
East?
23 East,
Yeah.
yeah. After that. So,
Cool. And we'll have, I mean, any shows that you either can't think of or just aren't planned right now, just let us know and we'll put them up on our live shows page.
You guys are great, really.
yay!
And good looking.
Great for podcasts. Awesome. All right, so we're going to, well, before we wrap up, your websites, we mentioned it earlier, but what are some other, you know, social media sites that we can get more information about AlyCat?
Yeah, you can go to the website, AlyCatOnline.com. You can go to Facebook / the AlyCat. That's that one. Reverb Nation, Twitter, you know, all those things.
All that horse shit.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, it's effective.
yeah. And, you know, definitely check out Forge Recording, too, because we had a great experience there. Where we
Shout
recorded
out to
it.
Forge.
Shout out to Forge.
I have a bedroom in there.
Yeah, we're moving in, Forge. Watch out.
Well, the album is called Cat Lady, and we are going to finish with the song Cat Lady, which is instrumental.
That's right.
Yes.
So how did that song come about, and why is it just an instrumental? Why no lyrics?
That one came literally in a dream to me. It sounds, you know, so cliche, but it literally, I woke up with the bass line in my head and I brought the bass line to the band, and then the song was created, from that, just everyone built on top of that. And, I don't know. We didn't really have any lyrics, and we were jamming on it, and it didn't need lyrics.
Right.
There's a saxophone. David Fishkin plays sax on it, and he kind of hints at some you know, some cat
Feral cat sounds.
feral cat meows in there. So
Those Foley
Yeah.
effects? All right, well, I want to thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Thanks
It's
for having
really
us.
nice hearing these songs. Great music, great recording. Well done. The album is called Cat Lady. We're going to end with the song Cat Lady. They are AlyCat. Let me remind you, we're going to have another featured podcast up next week, and you can definitely get our free apps for iPhone and Android, so you can stream the music 24/7. That will now include AlyCat on your phones and on our webpage as well. Sign up for our newsletter so you can keep up to date with these bands. Just email us at contact@yourlocalnote.com. The song is called Cat Lady. The debut album is called Cat Lady, and they are AlyCat. You're listening to yourlocalnote.com.